Hello beautiful Mabuhay and welcome to Jay's Nest. Today we are talking about wool diaper covers. How does wool work? What is lanolin? And how does a wool diaper cover differ from just a regular cloth diaper cover? I'm doing a whole series here on YouTube about wool. There's a little less than 20 videos in this series that are already in the process of moving and going. The next video after this one in the series will be about washing and lanolizing, which is actually so simple. There's a little bit of hands-on work, but it doesn't take more than a few minutes. The whole lanolizing process is not hard at all. I actually stayed away from using wool for years. Last year was my first time trying wool. I stayed away for years because I thought this was really hard and complicated. And for some reason, any video I tried watching on wool, I just immediately tuned out because it just seemed so hard to me. So I'm here on YouTube to demystify this, to simplify it, to make it easy to digest, and just, it's not hard, okay? So that's my next video. But for this video, let's talk about how wool diaper covers work. So how does wool work? Well, the first thing I want you to know about wool is wool in itself is absorbent. So this material by itself can absorb like 20 to 30% of its weight. So this is why a lot of people actually recommend wool for nighttime use. You can use wool over fitteds or my favorite, stretchy flats. I love stretchy flats for nighttime. Stretchy flats are like my favorite diaper. And if you have a heavy wetter and you're struggling with a nighttime routine, wool can be an awesome option for you. So in this modern cloth diaper community, what we use on wool covers to make them what we would say water resistant or leak proof is we use lanolin. So what is lanolin? Lanolin is actually the natural oil that comes off the sheep. You may also know lanolin as like a breast cream. So if you have ever tried breastfeeding before, a lot of times they'll have that tube of purple Lancino, if you know what I'm talking about, for your nipples, for dried, cracked, bleeding, blistered nipples. Same thing. I've even seen people use that Lancino tube to lanolize their cloth diapers. Wool is also one of the most earth-friendly diapers that you can use, because if we're being real, like this is still plastic. This is a laminate, you know what I mean? If you're really wanting to be the most earth-friendly, this is a system that you would want to use. And the thing is with wool covers, you don't need a lot. The most time-consuming thing about wool covers is the dry time. It takes about 24 hours. You lay it flat on a surface and you just let it air dry. Takes about 24 hours, but that's really it when it comes to wool. Another cool thing about wool is that it's extremely breathable, especially when we start to compare it to this TPU material. So let's talk about this type of modern cloth diaper. This is the normal type of cloth diaper that you will see. So this outer material is what we call a polyurethane. I'm pretty sure Thirsties uses TPU, but we're gonna call it PUL for a minute, okay? I think it even tells me on here. Yeah. It is polyester. So this outside material, the printed side, the colorful side of a cloth diaper, is usually what we call like the polyurethane, which is the polyester. And then when you open up the inside of this cover, there's something called a laminate. You guys might be familiar with lamination. You know, in school sometimes they laminate papers, they put a plastic coating. Kind of same, a little different. The difference between like PUL and TPU, they all look like this, but it's just the process. TPU uses heat to bond the plastic with the polyester, while PUL uses chemicals to bond this plastic side with the polyester. That's not something you need to know, that's not important information, but that's just the difference between PUL and TPU. So for this material, this inside is that plastic laminate material. And so what happens when your cloth diapers delaminate, sometimes this material can detach. I've personally never had that happen, but it can detach. Maybe if I can find a picture from Google, I'll stick it on the screen. Other common things that can happen is that they can crack. I've experienced that. I have a whole stash of diapers that are cracked, and I'll show you some of those diapers in a different video. But it's that plastic coating that's on these that crack. So cloth diapers are plasticky, okay? While they are a better alternative to waste reduction when we're talking about diapering our children, it is still not the most earth-friendly. I know not a lot of people like to have that conversation, and that's not to crap on cloth diapers or modern cloth diapers, but that is to talk about the real sustainability of the future and, you know, we will see these in landfills as well. So if you're wanting to be really earth friendly, wool is actually the better choice. Another thing about wool is it is like antibacterial, antimicrobial, which I think is really beneficial, especially when you add on the breathability factor. This is just way more breathable than a plasticky P-Well or TPU diaper cover. I do believe that when it comes to using wool, there is intention that comes with it, because you don't want to just throw this in with your regular diaper laundry, washing and drying. That could ruin your diaper covers, that can cause them to felt, that can cause them to shrink, and there are solutions to help with felting and shrinking. It just takes a little more intention. It takes less time to wash, takes more time to dry since you air dry and lay it flat, but it just takes gentle intention to hand wash these. It doesn't take a lot of agitation. I've heard that if you use too much agitation, that can actually cause more felting and shrinkage, neither which I have dealt with yet. But you know, it really just, it doesn't take much hand washing at all. You know, when you think of hand washing, you're thinking that you're really going at it for a long time, and no, that's really not the process at all when it comes to wool. It's very easy. But again, I think this system is a lot more intentional. Wool does come with a higher price point. You know, wool covers can cost anywhere from $25 to, you know, hundreds of dollars depending on if you're getting the longies. So like the really long wool pants. But also you can get by with way less of these than you could with these. But I'm excited to really dive into this series with you guys, dive into wool, demystify wool. I totally understand why there are just like hardcore lovers of wool out there. And I just think that it's cool that it's just not as time consuming or as hard as I thought it was going to be. This wool series is brought to you by Humbird. I am a partner with Humbird, so this video is sponsored. All of these wool videos will be sponsored by Humbird. I will leave their website down below. Definitely go check it out. They do pre-orders often. And then you can also have wool that is made to order for you. So there are certain ways to measure your child to see what size wool cover they will wear. These are sized wool covers. And there are certain ways that you have to measure your baby. And the best way to measure your baby is to like get the thickest, girl, the thickest nighttime, the bulkiest diaper, okay, that your baby can wear, and then measure your baby, because you want to make sure that they have some room to grow. Dawn from Humbird, she has a whole sizing chart so you can kind of see what sizes would be best for your child. But yeah, that is it for today's video. I'm excited to simplify this and demystify this and bring wool here and just share all this goodness that comes with wool and just like the easiness factor with wool. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time.